Good evening, folks. It's Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project, bringing you a grand solar minimum update on Thursday, March 1st at midnight, 2018 Mountain Time. Sierra blizzard warning, zero visibility, strong winds and heavy snow Thursday morning through Friday morning. Dangerous and potential life-threatening blizzard conditions. 2 to 5 feet above 7,000 feet in Tahoe, 1 to 3 feet at lake level, 2 to 5 feet in Mono County above 8, 1 to 2 feet on Highway 395. We're talking 125 mile per hour gusts on ridgetops, 40 to 60 mile an hour gusts in the valleys in wind-prone areas. Zero visibility in whiteout conditions, increasing avalanche danger, grand solar minimum much. Guys, I hope you listened to the radio program. It was banging. Here we are, Weather Ready Nation map. Flood warnings in the center of the craton here down south, Mississippi Valley, Louisiana, Arkansas, upper Mississippi, Tennessee, West Tennessee. This is a nor'easter developing. We have storm warnings off the coast of the mid-Atlantic and winter storm warnings throughout New York all the way to the Great Lakes. Winter storm and winter weather advisories throughout the central Sierras, all the way through Northern California. Looks like Southern Oregon and Northern Washington, as well as parts of Idaho and Northern Utah. So a lot of weather going on going into the first day of March. Year's biggest storm coming, snow predicted in Shasta County. We just told you about 3 to 5 feet predicted. Heads up, Northern California. I'll leave links to this. Snow on the way to greet March. Up to a foot possible above 7,000. This is the Wood River Valley. The National Weather Service is predicting that 19 inches of snow could fall above 6,300 feet Thursday in Lower Park Valley. 5 to 9 of snow is possible throughout central Idaho. Looking glorious up there. Major nor'easter will inflict destructive wind and coastal flooding on New England as we head into the weekend. Hurricanes get all the hype, but over the past century, winter storms have generated the most destructive coastal flooding. They roar in with sustained winds of 40 to 50 miles per hour and punishing precipitation. On top of the wind and snow and low visibility, these storms tear up the coast like bulldozers. Apparently, we're looking at one. So heads up, New England. And bitter cold hits Chamonix. This is in France. It's cold out. It might not have hit the day after tomorrow apocalyptic temperatures that some forecasters were suggesting this week, but it's not exactly been warm either. Are they obfuscating from the truth or what? So I'll leave you this article. They don't even have one temperature within it, and that should be telling you something. We're going to go into more of this insanity. Over here, this is an article about all-time record temperatures being set in Great Falls, and in no time does it tell us about that. It tells us about warming and high temperatures. It's really bizarre. It says 108 degrees today. If not, Miles City sets record. Unless a dramatic heat wave strikes Wednesday, Miles City is going to end the month with record-setting cold. In fact, it would need to be 108 degrees today to ward off the record cold February. The coldest record for February in Miles City since records have been kept. And now the rest of this article talks about nothing but hot temperatures. It's completely insane where the media is going. I don't know how they're going to hang on to global warming when 6.5 feet of snow in East Glacier is a February record. That's a boom. Holla. Heads up. So at some point, these types of records are going to be too prolific to even obfuscate from the truth. Now, a series of snowstorms, force winds, and sub-zero temperatures that are draining emergency resources on the Blackfeet Indian Reservation in Montana. And there is no letting up. The entire month of March looks like snowstorm after snowstorm for this region, East Glacier Park. It has eclipsed the all-time record for February snow. And the snowiest winter in 46 years continues to bury the community abutting Glacier National Park. Through February 25th, 6.5 feet of snow had fallen, breaking the former record of 72.5 inches set last winter Do you see a pattern? Yeah, it's called the Ice Age pattern. Thanks, Robert, for joining us today. We love you. I'll leave you links to these records being broke. And after record breaking heat, more nonsense, heavy record snow is on the way for Canada. Panic buying in the UK, supermarkets fight breakout and shelves empty as snow smashes Britain. This is only the beginning. And look at this nonsense. Look at these shelves. This is for a 2-day snow event. We're about to go into a 200-year period of snow events. So it's not looking good for the way people are acting. If you're in a major city, I think you should be looking to get out. Heavy snow traps hundreds overnight on the M80 in Scotland. Parts of UK on red alert as extreme weather threatens further transport disruption. The number of accidents is rising. Hundreds of people were stranded on a motorway in Scotland on Wednesday, were stuck in their cars overnight as severe snow caused widespread disruptions in the UK. Well, that quickly escalated. Here was Wednesday, the coldest day for 39 years in Denmark. All they're shoving down people's throats in Denmark is global warming. And now we have this. Temperatures dropping down to -10 at night, occurring on a regular basis in February. But -39? Look at that ice formation there. That's amazing. Ice cold day in Skagen, 2018. So these records are going back 39 years, not to -39. So it doesn't get that cold in Denmark, which is quite amazing because it's so far up north. So -5 is a record cold, and this is the kind of record snow they get. So it's not that bad up in Denmark. It says Denmark is up in snow, windy ice. It feels like -22 degrees. See the map. Unusual cold over Denmark hasn't been seen for 31 years. So heads up, Einrich Butenhuis. The same stuff happening in Europe. Record snowfall in Croatia. Sub-zero temperatures. Look at this. This is amazing. Let's go back there. That looks crazy and cold. Look at the depths there. Oh my God. That's yesterday. Well, well, well. Record snowfall and sub-zero temperatures paralyzed parts of Croatia on Tuesday, causing havoc on highways and prompting authorities to evacuate residents of several villages. The western Croatian town of Delnice saw 182 centimeters of snow, blanketing the area, and temperatures hit a low of -20. As snowplows struggled to clear the streets, residents drank copious amounts of vodka and smoked hashish. Basyang crop losses hit P9.2 million, whatever that means. It means that we're losing crops as predicted. Now, extreme weather, lightning is now added to the mix of threats, which we've predicted since the beginning to be increasing and striking more humans from the ground up and killing more people worldwide. As we predicted, the earthquakes in England continue to rumble. Cumbria, houses shake as tremor of 3.2 magnitude hits county. Residents reported that buildings swayed as the tremor hit on Wednesday morning, the second quake to hit UK in 2 weeks. And as we suggest, a magnitude 5 or greater will hit in the next 2 decades in England based on historical documentation of grand solar minimums. If we come over to the seismic map, there's nothing of significance in large magnitude. We do have a moderate uptick in moderate earthquakes, meaning there's a large number of 2.5 magnitude or greater, especially in this area of Indonesia, Papua New Guinea. Let's talk about the extinct Bosavi volcano showing signs of awakening in Papua New Guinea. Papua New Guinea, Papua New Guinea. You got to say it right. Give them respect. Now, according to the watchers, this flurry of activity is related to this volcano awakening. So I did a geologic investigation into it, and what I quickly revealed is that there is no geologic data on Mount Bosavi. There is some sparse geologic studies, and the embarrassing claim down here that the last eruption was 200,000 years ago. Now, folks, that is 1/5 of a million years, and I assure you that 200,000 years is an extremely long time, unfathomable by many humans. And if we come and look at the most recent satellite data of the picture of this mountain, you can clearly see that this mountain is not 200,000 years old, and the eruption that made this cinder cone did not happen 200,000 years ago. In fact, it happened quite recently, in less than 20,000 years. Based on the erosional pattern and the steepness and the crispness of the caldera, that information that you get over here at Wikipedia is totally bunk. So let's come over to the USGS and I'll show you where the volcano is, and you can make up your own mind. Here is the aftershocks in Papua New Guinea. And here is Bosavi. Again, look at the crispness of the outline of the top of the cinder cone, the recent erosional features in these gullies. This is a lahar, or potentially a mud flow that came out of here. Now, if this volcano had been around for 200,000 years in an area with the type of rain in this tropical environment, for 200,000 years since it erupted, it wouldn't even exist. It would be flat. This is highly three-dimensional, retaining its shape, and is very reminiscent of many volcanoes that formed in this fashion 12,900 years ago. So I believe that this volcano is last erupted around 13,000 years ago, and that it may erupt shortly. So that's a heads up. I'll leave you links to the Watcher's article, and I've just given you my opinion. I'll leave you links to the Wikipedia, which is useless if you're looking for geologic data. And let's talk about volcano in southwestern Japan erupting. According to the weather agency, Miyazaki, Japan, Mount Shinmo, which is really Shinmo Dake, on the southwestern Japanese island of Kyushu, erupted again tomorrow, which is today, which is now, which is Thursday, less than 5 months after its last eruption. Looks like a little squirt. I don't know if this is the actual eruption. There's not enough information here. And if you come check Volcano News, they don't have it listed yet, but they do have Santiaguito volcano erupting today, which is a new one to add to the list, as well as Mayon with a volcanic ash eruption, Sabancaya erupting with sporadic puffs, Fuego, Dukono, Santiaguito, including Turrialba. Popocatépetl, I watched some eruptions happening earlier this morning when I woke up. There were some small events in the last 24 to 36 hours. We're still waiting on the big one. Now, I need to thank Robert Felix for joining me on our first radio show tonight. It was on Revolution Radio, Freedom Slips. We talked about many topics like cosmic rays increasing and their effects on the Earth and Earth changes as we head into this grand solar minimum. We talked about past cycles, the GISP-2 ice cores, and how periodic grand minima occur and grand maxima. The grand maxima are associated with empires growing to their maximum extent, followed by a rapid drop-off and collapse of the empire each and every time, including the Romans, the Minoans. Here, the Greenland was settled by the Vikings, and then they were wiped out quickly. And now we're headed back into the next descent, into the next major grand minima. We talked about how this grand minima is unlike any others in the past that we have data for, because in all these previous drop-offs, the magnetosphere was not weakening. The total solar irradiance wasn't predicted to be dropping off as dramatically. The Atlantic multi-decadal oscillation was not in a negative phase, nor was the Pacific decadal oscillation. The Beaufort gyre was potentially not going to be stuck in its current pattern, causing rapid ice growth in the northern hemisphere. So the climate changes we're going to witness in the coming years are going to be unprecedented. And the reason we started this channel is because they have begun already. You are now living the next descent into the next glacial period on Earth. And the time you'll be alive for is going to be called the modern eddy minimum or the Landscheid minimum, which is the next grand solar minimum in the scheme of things. And here we're looking at the Greenland Gist 2 ice cores, the Minoan warm, the Roman warm, the medieval warm, the modern warm, and they're all followed by a glacial period. And the one we're going into is the next maximum glaciation. Guys, I hope you got something out of the video. Times are changing. As the cosmic ray flux increases, increased cloud nucleation is going to cause epic flooding worldwide. We're seeing it now. The uptick is real. It is only going to increase for the next 2 years. At some point, crop loss is going to cause a spike in food prices. Global unrest will unravel the fabric around you. You have limited time to prepare. But proper prior planning will prevent piss poor performance into where we're headed. And you can survive and thrive if you locate like-minded people, a community in a rural area, in a safe geographical location where you can learn how to grow food sustainably and live off the land, while the rest of the world scrapes for cans of rotting food. Be safe, everybody.